What's up, guys? Here's another a deck build profile I'm doing of my tournament deck. Well, one of my tournament decks, and it's a counter fairy deck. I really like this deck. I think it's the bomb, and I just hope you like the build I did. So, I'm also going to be doing more builds later on. So hit the subscribe button and the notification button to stay up to date on videos. So, let's see. Let's start out with the traps, right? First, in my counter fairy deck, I have 2 recalls. I gotta figure out where to paste my cards. I just got a new camera, so yeah. So I got 2 recalls in this deck, and so what recall does is when your opponent activates a monster, your opponent draws a card. Also negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So it's a great way of, it's a quick play, quick spell kind of deal. I have 2 dark bribes. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card, your opponent draws 1 card. Also negate this spell or trap activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Simple as that. Same as recall, just different name. I have 1 divine punishment. When a spell or trap or monster effect is activated while Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So simple as that. Very, very good with this. Also, I got a continuous trap, synthetic surfim. I can't pronounce it. Each time a counter trap card is activated, immediately after it resolves, special summon 1 Saffron token to the field. Oh, excuse me. To the field. It has 300 in attack and defense. Also, 1 Solemn's Warning. When a monster would be summoned, or when a spell or trap card is or a monster effect is activated that includes the effect of that special summon, a monster, pay 2,000 life points, negate the summon or activation if you do, destroy it. Something, yeah. And 1 Light of Judgment. Sanctuary of the Sky has to be on the field for this. Discard 1 light monster to the graveyard. Apply 1 of the following effects. Look at your opponent's hand, discard 1 card from their hand, or send 1 card from your opponent's send 1 card from your opponent controls to the graveyard. And lastly, for the traps, Malicious Descent. Target 1 banished fairy monster, special summon it. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Yeah. So it brings cards back, at least a card back from the banished. So that's good. Moving on to the spells. And of course, this fairy deck, what good a fairy deck is without the field spells. Sanctuary of Light, take no battle damage. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy monster from battle involving that monster becomes 0. So basically, if you attack me and my monster was to be destroyed, but I still don't take the difference. That's what it says. So, 1 Valiant Hall of the Fallen. If I have no monsters on the field, I can special summon 1 fairy monster from my hand or deck. So, and the continuous spell, Card Trader. This card is really good. It allows me to trade 1 for put 1 in my deck, shuffle it, redraw a new card. It's really it's basically a speeder. It makes this deck a lot faster. So 2 photon vials. Shuffle 3 light monsters in your deck, and draw 1, 2, 3 level 4 or lower light monsters from your deck to your hand with different names. So, and here we go. Cards from the sky. Banish 1 light monster fairy from your hand, and if you do, you could and if you do, draw 2 cards. I cannot special summon or do damage this turn. So there's that. Now it's moving on to the monsters. I have 1 Cephalon, the Ultimate Time Lord. This card is really good. My personal favorite in this deck. It cannot be special summoned or normal summoned unless you have 10 or more fairy monsters in your graveyard. So yeah, you already know where this deck is going for. I really pretty much want my monsters to be destroyed. So, and I can special summon up to 3 targets from my graveyard, and they both gain the same attack and defense. So, yeah, it's really OP. I like it. I have 1 Arc Knight of Parishath. This card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing, and I draw 1 card. Splendid Venus. All non-fairy monsters lose 500 attack and defense. And the activation of spells and traps cards activated on your field cannot be negated. So that card's really come in handy. I actually didn't even know about the second effect. So yeah, I learned something new today. And I have 1 Headerace. Allows me to search for Valiant, the Hall of the Fallen. Basically, this card is discarded from your hand or sent to the graveyard by battle and allows me to summon that. It's basically your first turn kind of card. It's the one you want in your first turn. Because most likely, if you're going first, you're not going to have monsters come next round. And it will allow you to quickly bring out Valiant Hall of the Fallen to use its effect. I have, of course, Shits and Giggles card, Marshmallow, in this deck. The only reason I like Marshmallow is because it's an O-power card. I like it. In my eyes, it's OP because it cannot be destroyed by a battle unless you attack it pretty much twice. If you attack it and fail to destroy it, you take initial 1000 damage every time you fail to destroy it. You already know what Marshmallow does. You're new to this game. You're not new to this game. I have one Arc Lord Kestray. So if I have exactly 4 fairy monsters in my graveyard, I can special summon this card from my hand. If special summoned this way, target 1 fairy monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Neither player can special summon monsters. So, really good board lock right there. None of us can special summon if it's on the field. So, pretty much you gotta come up with a monster that's strong enough to destroy this damn thing so you can special summon. Also, my very favorite card in this deck is Athena. I only run 1 of her. If another monster is summoned, if another fairy monster is summoned, inflict 600 points of damage to your opponent. Once per turn, I can send one fairy monster from the graveyard, except Athena. Target one fairy monster in your graveyard, except Athena, on special summon that target. Basically, discard and get a card back. It's a really good way of getting higher monsters out on the field. I am running 2 Scholars of the Sky. Every time a counter trap is activated, this card gains 500 attack and defense. If it does, and Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field, add 1 counter trap from my graveyard to my hand. I have 2 Evas. This card is okay. It's right now temporary until I get a couple better ones. So Eva, that allows me to banish 2 light monsters, get 2 light monsters, except for this card's name. I've run 2 Angel Valkyrians, 2 Harvest Angels of Wisdom. Harvest Angels of Wisdom is just when this card is summoned, destroyed by battle, I can add a counter trap from my graveyard to my hand. Hold on. So 2 Harvest Angels of Wisdom, 2 Jellin Duos. Counts as 2 tributes, same as Marshmallow except for the damage. Basically, it can not be destroyed by battle. So great way of getting the other higher ranked monster, level 5 and up monsters out. 2 Nova Summoners. This card, if Sanctuary is on the sky, is on the field, I can bring out, of course, Arcanite Parasath to the field from my hand. Or I can summon 1 Light Fairy monster with 1500 attack or less. So, of course, to negate effects, I have Hiawatha. Only real men use Hiawatha, though. Discard. You can discard this card and take no effect damage, of course. Plain and simple. 2 Guiding Light. Works best to get level 1 level 1 monsters out of your graveyard, such as Hiawatha. So that's a good thing. I run 2 Thesis Goddess of Lights, and basically when I draw a fairy monster, I get to reveal it, add a fairy monster to my hand, or basically I draw a fairy monster, I get to show a fairy monster, not exactly that fairy monster, but show one and special summon that target without a tribute. So great card to have if you're running a count fairy deck, even just a regular fairy deck. It's a great card to have. So, I'm running 3 Bountiful Artemis. Basically, each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, I get to draw a card. I run 3 Herald of Orange Light, which allows me to, basically, if it's in my hand, I send this card and another card to the another fairy monster to the graveyard, and it negates monster effects. I also run 3 Herald of Purple Light. Same thing as her Orange Light, except this one does traps. And 3 Herald of Green Light. Same thing as the other 2, except this one does spells. And of course, lastly, Malatai Sage of the Sky allows me, every time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, I gain 1,000 life points. If Sanctuary is on the sky, is on the field, destroy destroy 1 card your opponent controls. So great way of destroying cards on your opponent's side and gaining life at the same time. This is it for the deck build. Again, it's my counter fairy. It's tournament ready for me, at least. Probably gonna change a few things on it. Maybe even add an extra deck. I'll let you know if you have any comments or questions. Please comment below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. It doesn't matter to me. And hit the notification button. Stay up to date on videos. Alright, peace out.